Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for May 19, 2023, the Ronnie Feldman edition. And we begin with that story as reported by the Wall Street Journal Risk and Compliance Journal. Dylan Tokar reporting that Meta is using Netflix-style videos to get engineers to think about compliance. Why is this the Ronnie Feldman edition? Well, that's what Ronnie does. If you've never checked out his company, Learnings and Entertainment, they do videos and tell stories to help communicate compliance concepts. The chief legal officer at Meta asked, how can we spark excitement, enthusiasm, and engagement for our employees? Well, I suggest you call Ronnie Feldman. Nevertheless, at least Meta is moving towards something that gets people's attentions and hopefully will get them to think about doing business ethically and compliance. And there's a company that needs it. Boy, it's Meta. Next up from Reuters, a very interesting article about a FDA report that discloses the identity of a company in which the report raised questions about the business's regulatory compliance. That attorney doesn't want his name released because, quote, it could cause reputational harm that could impede the plaintiff's ability to continue practicing as an attorney, end quote. Sure sounds like an attorney was involved in, if not malfeasance, certainly not paying attention to compliance under the FDA. So I'm not quite sure why the FDA would want to redact their name. But if an attorney is so afraid of being named in a report that they won't be able to do practice as a lawyer, it must be bad. Next up, from the Financial Times, an article about cybersecurity, and it says that senior execs are starting to realize the potential data breaches and other digital threats are strategic issues, as well as boards of directors. So it's something that I and others have been talking about for quite some time. What is your overall strategy around a cyber attack? Do you have a cyber attack response team? Jonathan Armstrong certainly advocates that. And we talk about it on Life with GDPR. So good to see that senior execs and board members are finally getting it. And our final story comes to us from The Conversation, a first-time contributor to the Daily Compliance News in an article entitled, How China Uses Geo-Strategic Corruption to Exert Its Influence in Latin America. This is directly the Belts and Roads program where they are alleged to pay bribes and put in substandard building projects in countries and then claim the countries owe them something back. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.